Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Arya Whitner, and this is your Mae Young Classic audio report for Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018. We officially are into the second round. The round of 16 kicked off this week, and it was bookended by a pair of fantastic matches, I got to tell you that. It began with Hiroyo Matsumoto versus Toni Storm. In the pre-match video package, Storm said they had wrestled 7 times before now. The only results I could find were of 2 matches, both of which were in Stardom. One was a time limit draw, and the other was a tag team match playa, where Storm was on the winning side. In the first round, Storm defeated Ginny, while Matsumoto beat Rachel Evers in the match of the first round last week. Cole says Matsumoto likes to have fun, so if you were in doubt as to who the babyface was, there you go. Ironically, even though Matsumoto was the Michael Cole appointed babyface, they kind of got the roles backwards here, as immediately after this, Matsumoto used a very heel maneuver where she delivered a cheap shot after a clean break. Renee showed that she pays attention to the pre-match video packages by saying that these two had a chance to watch each other in the first round, which allowed them to scout each other, which completely contradicts Toni Storm pointing out that they've wrestled each other 7 times before now. Matsumoto played to the crowd, so Storm snapped off a German suplex, followed by a running hip attack and a perfect plex, but Hiroyo kicked out of that. Matsumoto locked on the Boston Crab and transitioned that into a single-legged crab. Storm sold it for all it was worth. Finally, Storm basically ran her head into Matsumoto's head. Matsumoto came back and hit the rock drop, but Storm got her toe on the bottom rope. Yes, her toe. And this wasn't like when Kevin Owens got his finger on the ropes at when he wrestled Chris Jericho that time. Matsumoto didn't flip out and begin attacking the toe. But the finish saw Matsumoto hit multiple clotheslines. She had wrist control like Kazuchika Okada, but instead of hitting the final, winning clothesline, Storm ducked the third one, rolled Hiroyo up, bridged backwards, and picked up the win. And she will face the winner of next week's bout between Mia Yim and Caitlyn. American Ninja Warrior Casey Catanzaro was out next as she took on Rhea Ripley. Casey is the one who got into the ring in her first round match by climbing the ring post. She did that again here. And she defeated Reina Gonzalez in her first round match. Ripley defeated MJ Jenkins in her first round match. And Ripley comes into this match with a 7-inch height and 42-pound weight advantage over her smaller but quicker foe. Ripley refused the handshake, so Casey ran all over the ring, hitting her on all sides until she got caught and thrown stomach first on top of the top rope. Casey teased the Sun win with a small package, but quickly Rhea was back on her feet and dropping Casey with a drop kick that reminded me a little bit of Bob Holly. It was that nice of a drop kick. Rhea lifted her up for a vertical suplex and literally walked around the ring, holding her in the vertical suplex before falling backwards. Casey in her comeback did her best Rey Mysterio impersonation by hitting the Tornado DDT and a corkscrew planche to the floor. We had a screwed up moment here where Casey went for a springboard what a maneuver, but she slipped and nearly hurt herself. They then went and redid the exact same spot, which made it weird that they didn't just edit the first one out. However, the fans did cheer for Casey when she finally hit it, but that was the highlight of the match for her because Rhea got tired of these shenanigans. She hit the Riptide for the somewhat surprising win. And now she'll face the winner of Nicole Matthews versus Tegan Nox, which is next week. And, I'm not going to say this show was taped in advance or anything, but, Nicole Matthews can't enter the country for 5 years. So either this show is taped in advance or I don't know, maybe Nicole Matthews has a hardy compound-like structure on her house grounds, so she could have a match there. That probably won't be happening. Then we had, well, we have great matches, we have good matches, and, well, sometimes we have a bad match between two people who are still new, still learning, still green, and, well, it ain't that good. And that was up next as Lacey Lane took on Tainara Conchi. Lane had scored a first-round upset over Vanessa Craven, while Conti had defeated Jessie Elaban last week. Conti was the first and only woman who had to win a qualifying match before the tournament, and then her match last week against Jessie, I believe I described as something that happened, and that was the nicest thing I could say about it. Lane's victory over Craven, quote-unquote, shocked the world, according to the announcers, so that gives me my plan for tomorrow, which is to go up and ask random strangers what they thought about Lacey Lane defeating Vanessa Craven and recording their answers. I'll tell you what, and, I may get some flack for calling Conchi bad, but I'll tell you this. She is either the most believable striker in WWE or she stiffed the hell out of Lacey Lane. And the fact that after all these kicks to Lacey Lane's ribs and her hands was followed by a clothesline that she threw 2 feet over Lacey Lane's head, I'm thinking she probably isn't the most believable striker in WWE. Shockingly, the clothesline that would have had a hard time connecting with Andre the Giant missed. Lane made a brief comeback and won quickly with a crucifix bomb. They got them in and out of there as quick as possible, and now Lane gets to move on to the quarterfinals, where she will probably be killed by the winner of the next match. Our main event of the night, it is Meiko Satomura versus Mercedes Martinez. Martinez beat Ashley Rain in the first round. Satomura defeated Killer Kelly. Satomura, as a reminder, is a 23-year veteran, and every time she has a match in this tournament, I will mention that she is one of the very few women, as in probably less than 12, to have wrestled on WCW Monday Nitro. That is how long she has been wrestling. Martinez got frustrated as Meiko controlled her on the mat early on. Mercedes finally hit a belly-to-belly overhead suplex before controlling her with a side headlock. They were having a nice little respectful battle between veterans until Mercedes slapped her right in the face. Satomura battled out of a front chin lock and hit a high kick. However, she got tripped on the top rope, and Martinez utilized a spinning neckbreaker for a near fall. Martinez was slow to follow up, so Satomura locked on an armbar, which Martinez had to roll her all over the ring before finally reaching the ropes. Satomura kicked Mercedes' body up and down, to and fro, and then hit a frog splash for a 2 count. Meiko used her handstand knee drop, which was kicked out of again. Martinez blocked a Pele and delivered a fisherman suplex. She hooked the leg. She did the big dramatic leg hook that you always win when you do this. And then Meiko Satomura kicked out anyway. Martinez went for the Mexican surfboard, but Satomura elbowed her way out of it, hit a scorpion kick, pinned her, and picked up the win. A tremendous match to end a pretty decent week of the NYC this year. And Satomura, like, the most shocking part of this, match wasn't just that it was really good. It wasn't just that it was hard hitting. It was the fact that Satomura now has to come back at least one more time, and the last 2 rounds were all taped on the same night. So her next match against Lacey Lane, had to have been, maybe less than an hour since after this one. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Lacey Lane, you might want to sit back there and wave the white flag now, because you're next. And that is going to do it for this week. I want to thank you all for listening, And I'll talk to you again in 7 days.